Neighbors. I'm so excited for today's podcast. We're finally back from our trip to the US.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Katie. You went with me as well, so that's what someone else should be telling us. Welcome back. But we went to California. We went to New York. We had a lot of thoughts.
Catch up to do.
We literally had a celebrity schedule every day on the go.
Daniel was the celebrity and I was his manager. I was dying to catch up with his busy schedule.
But Katie, seriously, I told you before, but I really want to say thank you for
being the best manager.
No, being very accommodating, and also like you could have easily started complaining about the schedule, but you played ball. And you tied your shoes, you came along, and we had like
it was a mission.
We had a years-long adventure packed into 3 weeks. So
yeah,
thank you for playing
After
ball.
We came back, I needed a break from this holiday.
Vacations, you won't say work, but I think it's true. You need a vacation from your vacation because vacationing is like demanding. Like physically, you have to be walking, you have to be like meeting, and
unless you're just at just as a resort, just swimming in the ocean. That's all you do.
Oh, definitely. If I think about one day in our past 3 weeks, it's definitely more calorie filled and more intense than any work day that I have. I'm just on the computer looking into a screen, ruining my eyes. That's like a typical work day for me. Whereas when we're on vacation, we're up like 5.
We're like go types. So we just can't spare a day.
This episode is brought to you by Gochujar. Gochujar is a store that we run. It's growing beautifully. Thanks to all of our customers. We want to say thank you as well. And, if you need a gift, if you're looking for sort of premium Korean food products or ceramics, that's the place to be.
One thing that we've been enjoying lately as the weather is getting hotter is omija chong.
That's right. All you need is a little dose or a little pour of omija
extract.
Omija berries are like these berries that have 5 different flavors all in one berry. Grown in Korea. You pour the extract liquid, pour in a little bit of ice cubes, and then a little bit of carbonated water. Mix it up. It's the most refreshing drink.
It's the healthy version of Coca-Cola.
Actually, nicely put. Yeah, that's what I've been drinking after my workouts. We've been drinking a lot. I think we've already like finished one of those.
I crave it after every meal.
It's nice. It's really nice.
Very refreshing.
Yeah. You can also use meshil chung. Chung just means sugared.
I think meshil has a sweeter kind of end taste. Omija has a more like citrusy, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, so Katie, let's talk about our trip.
Let's rewind. Somehow it's strange to say, but after that long trip, so we were away for almost a month.
Yeah.
Really a little bit short of a month. And I felt like when I got back to Korea, I started to appreciate so many little things. Like the weather.
About Korea?
Yeah. And like the trees, everything. Somehow the trees look so green.
In Korea?
Just even in our like on the main street outside. I used to think that these trees are just nothing. They wouldn't really come to my focus. But now like these trees are so lush and so beautiful, and we've got this mountain in our back, and it's so nice. Whereas like when we were in California, the weather was nice, it was all sunny, but it's very dry, and like there is hardly like there are trees, but most of them are like dying.
No, I think it's the California mountains. California is a desert, so when you look at the mountain ranges are vast, right? They're huge. But they're monotone brown. It's just dust.
Yeah, they're brown.
Dust mountains.
Kind of gray.
There's nothing growing on them.
And then remember one time we went on a kind of a hike with your mom. Actually, the very first day we arrived, your mom took us to like a 3-hour hike to kill our jet lag. And
no, that was not the original motivation, but...
Well, we did. And then initially it was supposed to be like a short, like 30 minutes, 1 hour, just like look around, chill. It ended up being like 3-hour hike across the entire like a mountain. And there's not a single shade during the whole hike. Yeah. And then it's so hot.
Yeah, so like we went the next day. My mom's like, all right, since you guys are here, after we eat breakfast, let's go on a little hike. My mom's like, yeah, I took your sister once and she was always complaining, but you guys would be fine. And so in my mind, I was just thinking we're going to go on a light like hike to help us digest, or like just to get out of the house just for a little bit since we had such a long plane ride. My mom took us to, I think it's this, is it Hacienda Height Mountains?
I think so.
It's very local. It's just hills. It's not even a mountain. It's like hills,
Yeah.
rolling hills. But the funny thing was, my mom just kind of led the group with such like confidence and certainty. But yeah, that day was really hot. There's not, anyone who lives in California, you just know there's no shade anywhere. It's just desert mountain. There's nothing to look at.
There were just shrubs.
It's just shrub. Oh, actually, there was one snake that popped out right in front.
But that snake was dying too.
Yeah, it's like, where's the shade?
Heat.
Where's the shade?
I've
Anyway.
never seen the slowest snake in my life.
Yeah. So I think that sets kind of how it was. And then my mom was just like, maybe like 30 minutes in, I was like, Mom, how long is this route? She's like, oh, you guys are young. Don't worry. There's just this roundabout. There's the tree where the wind blows, and then we'll just take a right after that. I was like, okay. And I didn't want to say anything, but 1 hour in, I'm starting to feel drowsy. I don't know. I'm pretty tired.
The jet lag started to hit.
Jet lag is hitting. 1 hour soon becomes 2 hours. And then my mom, in the beginning, when she just kept saying, yeah, it's just around the corner. 2 hours later, same thing. Guys, there's this place with the shade where the wind blows, and it's going to be just around the corner where we go roundabout. 2 hours passed. Now it's 2 hours and a half. I think it's over here. Did we pass it? 지나가기도 하고. I was like, Mom, no, not today. Like, this better be that shaded corner where the wind blows, or else I'm gonna start getting pretty irritated here, because this was supposed to be a 30-minute walk. We're 2 hours and a half in, and here's Katie with her mother-in-law. She can't say anything, and she's just like
I'm
tiptoeing
just
along,
poking you.
Yeah, and it's like, welcome to America. Like, we're in the desert taking a hike with my mom, I think my mom, she didn't even have shoes on. I think she had the raised Ajima heels on. My mom's a trooper.
That was like a wake-up call, because before that I would watch some YouTube videos about some girls going on a hike with her dog in some California mountain. Looks so romantic and nice. But I just forgot that you can never feel it or see the reality until you go there.
Yeah.
It's like,
to be honest, if we filmed a YouTube video, I could so make it look like we're having the time of our lives there. Long story
sunny,
short, guys. The day after we arrived, the whole route took us maybe 3 hours and a half. And so, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because if we had fallen asleep, that jet lag would have lasted us 1 week. Because coming to Korea, you don't get jet lag that much. But going from Korea to Los Angeles, you usually arrive like 2 p.m. And it is your mission to not sleep until at least like 8 or 9. But when we were on that hike, it was around 5. And I remember I was yawning. I was like, Mom, I really wish that roundabout came, because I need to go home. I need to sleep. But somehow that, that I got past the tiredness, and we went to go meet my friend afterwards.
Yeah, who did a really nice barbecue.
In his patio. And
yeah, like I like the vibe there, because like there, like it's not like you meet outside or drink until really late at night. It's like you go to your friend's house.
You mean in California?
Yeah. You do like the barbecue in the house, in the backyard. That kind of environment was really nice.
Yeah, that's one thing
and
I miss out here too.
You do a lot of sleepovers.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done a sleepover in Korea, like at a friend's house. Nothing like that. Especially after I became an adult too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a common culture, but seems like in America that's like a very common culture, and I like that. It felt so homely, cozy. You cook together.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely miss too. Like in Korea, the house is like sacred. You don't just casually invite friends over to hang out. I mean, maybe when you're like really young in elementary, that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But like as an adult over like 18, you generally don't invite friends over to your house, and you don't do house parties. But in the US, partially because, especially in California, there's so much land, and so like you're not gonna drive 1 hour downtown to meet up. So you just drink first floor,
Yeah.
hang out, and your house, your home is my home kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And backyard barbecues.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really miss. Backyard barbecues and
backyard barbecue.
just chill,
At the
relax.
patio,
Yeah.
just like looking at the sunset,
Mm.
and it's so quiet, very chill. I really like that vibe.
Maybe I'll take our podcast along in a timeline, and then we could just hit on notes how you felt. Try to remember like kind of those things that come to mind.
So another thing that really like was very interesting because of how different it was, the experience, was when we went surfing. It's not when you went surfing and I was watching you. How convenient it is. Like we got to the beach side, and then people would just bring their own gears. They'll be changing at the back of their car. That's it. They'll put on their wetsuit, just the board on right in their hand, and then they'll just jump into the ocean.
Everything.
How easy that looked.
I love it because that's like in Korea, whenever you learn something new, the culture is to go to an academy, or that's how everything has been. Like it's very structured, very institutionalized. Like if I go to surfing in Korea here, like on the East Coast, you have to go get a wristband somewhere. Then there's a place where you go change. Then it's like very systematic.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the States, it's very DIY. You bring your board. If you want to go in, you're good. You don't need to go through all these little hurdles and money. You don't have to pay money for everything. Just bring your own stuff.
It's like it's free, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think if in Korea, even if I wanted to rent a board right now, if they'll ask me how many times have you surfed before, and if it doesn't pass like their criteria, they won't let me the board, and basically I'll have to learn through them in order to do surfing in the ocean. They're not gonna let you teach me to surf.
Yeah.
And just rent the board.
Yeah.
That's like kind of the annoying thing.
That surfing experience.
That was really fun.
Big ups to my friend who brought his board. Oh man. By the way, the beach that we went to, it was near LA. It's called Manhattan Beach, and then there's a section called El Porto Beach where you can park your car right along the shoreline. You can put on your wetsuit and you're right into the water. The waves there was just perfect.
That was like the most movie-like moment for me, I think.
Oh, of like the typical California esque life that's portrayed in movies.
Yeah.
Man, if I lived in California, I think I would be there quite a lot. I loved it. And guys, why I'm so happy right now, I'm still sky high, was in the previous podcast, I like kind of bitched and moaned about how we couldn't catch a wave and this and that. Like seriously, I was there, and as soon as I got in the water, actually, even before I rode, I saw dolphins.
Yeah.
I have never seen a live dolphin in the water, but when me and
in front of you.
It was right in front of us. And it was hilarious, like the fin.
I could see it too from the sand.
Katie, I am telling you, I was like talking with my friend, and then I just see a fin pop out of the water. And literally it wasn't even a split second. I think for about 5 seconds, I was like, I think that's a dolphin, but that could be a shark, right? So I'm like,
Jaws.
Jaws, yeah. My mind is like racing. My like neurons in my brain are finding like what to do. I asked my friend, I was like, is that a shark or something? And then I think there was a bunch of surfers, and one of them turned around. He had a big smile, and then I knew that it was fine. He's like, dude, it's a dolphin, man. I was like, oh shit, yeah, awesome. Oh man, what a blessing to see dolphins in the water.
Yeah. They were like a pair too.
And I heard the when they like released water into the air to breathe.
I thought you'd have to go to Hawaii or somewhere more like, I don't know, far away to see the dolphins, but that was very, very cool.
I felt like they kind of blessed that session because the first wave that looked proper.
You caught it.
I caught it. And I put it on my, I probably put it on my personal Instagram. Yeah. Not on maybe I'll put it on the Future Neighbor. By the way, if you're not following us, we put up a lot of fun stuff of what we do at Future Neighbor.
Yeah.
Put the letter E in front of Future Neighbor. That's our
IG account.
IG account. Follow us. Yeah, we put a lot of random stuff on there. But yeah, I caught it. And Oh my gosh, I was so sky high. Now, I really analyzed this because, guys, if you know me, I'm always like trying to analyze stuff and like trying to understand, like, how come I wrote this so well? And the thing is, my friend is very similar height, similar build to me. So he has a surfboard that's exactly the right size for him. And we wax the underside of the board and we wax the top. Oh, sorry, Kate, you're looking at me like I'm talking crazy. But if you pour wax, it's better for grip
Yeah.
when you put
But
your
why
feet on.
the underside? Why did wax the
I
underside?
think it helps with speed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Or maybe you weren't supposed to do it. I don't know. But the key thing is I finally rode a board that was like, because my friend is really into surfing. So that board fits his height, which means
Yeah.
it fits mine. And all the other times, maybe where I rented, it was either too big or it's not
Or-
for me.
Yeah.
But I was trying to put those huge ass boards onto like rinkety dinkety waves.
Mm.
And so now it reaffirmed to me, I know the basics.
It was the gear. That
It
was the
gear.
problem.
It was the gear. Oh, I'm
I
so
think
happy.
I've heard this from somewhere.
Yeah. And my friend was just telling me, I was like, hey, do you have any tips? And he was just saying, when you paddle, don't lose all of the momentum by like moving around left and right too much. Like just paddle so the energy goes or you go enough with enough speed. But other than that, I think you're okay. And I don't know, guys, because I've tried so many times. I went to a wave park in Korea, got destroyed. Went to other places, there's no things. And finally, I caught actually not even one,
Proper
like
way.
4 or 5 waves, like green waves, like
That the
not-
best
not-
performance so
not
far.
broken waves, green waves. And I'm telling you, Katie, I do a lot of sports, but I gotta say, catching a wave, it has to be one of the best feelings because even if you're good, catching a wave is still it's still difficult. Like we always say on this podcast, doing hard things, there's no better feeling. Like when you actually do it.
Mm.
So I'm gonna admit, when I'm in the restroom, I go to that Instagram post and I just look at me catching the wave. I'm gonna look at that for like 10 years. So happy. How good were those tacos in LA? Let's talk tacos for a second.
Oh my gosh, my phone is just full of photos of tacos.
Yeah.
We went to so many different places. We went to Oscars. We went
San
to
Diego fish tacos.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, how did you like the fish tacos in San Diego?
It was good.
Oscars.
The Oscars one really good.
Super
liked it.
delicious, no?
Yeah.
I keep thinking that there is a big market for fish tacos in Korea. Like street tacos, street Mexican tacos they're made their way to Korea, but they're really expensive.
You're right. It's missing in Korea.
But
That's
there's-
one thing that's missing in
Right?
Korea.
That like beer battered fish taco
yeah.
with a little bit of the shredded cabbage and then some salsa and then the crema sauce on top. And Korea
like
would
it.
love that. I'm telling you, that'd be a huge market because it's fresh.
I
it's-
prefer it when it's crispy. Too.
But now we're talking about street tacos. Let's stay on the fish tacos for a second. Anyway, I guess we're done with the fish tacos. Not much more to talk about.
Okay. What more have you got to say? Let me hear.
No, I just want someone else to bring like Baja fresh or Ensenada or like that coastline, that Mexican coastline type fish tacos to Korea, and I would be there every day.
Yeah.
Every day I'd be there. I love it. Can't get enough of fish
But
tacos.
I bet it's really hard to replicate it too. Because
Yeah.
I think they source like the corn tortilla from Mexico and it's very close by
Yeah.
to America, but like
You
to Korea, it's so far away.
Yeah, you need that mesa. San Diego's so close to
Exactly.
Mexico. So
They can keep it as like authentic as possible. But
by the way, at Oscars, not only was the fish taco good, their shrimp taco was killer.
yeah,
And then
a shrimp and beef taco was good too.
the surf and turf. Remember they had the steak and then the grilled shrimp in one taco?
Yeah, that one I really like that with some avocado.
So good.
But I feel like I've had like 5 years worth of fish taco during that 3-week trip. That I am good. Good.
Okay,
good for now.
Okay, so we had the fish tacos, notably from Oscars in San Diego. And then after that surf trip, our friend's wife, she took us to
A food truck in LA downtown.
Mariscos, hariscos.
Yeah, there was different, but also good.
You love the corn tortillas that are deep fried because you like that basak basak,
Yeah, the
that crunchy.
crispy texture.
And how good
I
was
love
that,
that.
tacos de camarón, shrimp tacos?
It was really good.
Guys, for those who, okay, first of all, if you're hungry, just Google Mariscos Jaliscos. It's on Olympic Boulevard in LA. Just look at the pictures. Guys, they deep fry. First of all, I think they make some sort of shrimp mixture. And then long time ago when I was in junior high at Jack in the Box, they used to sell these 99-cent tacos that they deep fry. But it's like very similar where they get that shrimp mixture, they put it into those corn tortilla and they deep fry it until it's like crunchy. On top, they don't add any shredded lettuce or tomato into the thing. Just on top of the taco itself, they lay it flat. Then they put some salsa and then a few slices of avocado and some super killer, huh? That would kill in Korea too.
Yeah. But you have to have it hot and fresh. That's why it was so good.
Yeah.
But it was like sitting out for some time or when stale, have lost this magic. But they made it straight away upon order.
That's right.
So good.
And did you like the right next door we tried the birria?
The goat.
The goat where you dip it into the consomme. Did you like that?
Yeah, that was good too. But I prefer the shrimp one.
Yeah. Okay. So then how about San Diego? How did you like the
Did a short family trip to San Diego too.
I took
San
my parents.
Diego is beautiful.
I was thinking that if we move back to the States, I would highly consider San Diego as the town to go back to.
Mm.
Because when I was in Orange County, I always think this, but I was kind of reminded of it. Like there's no industry in Orange County. So if you're not in the medical profession or in real estate, there's not really many, like there's not.
Or
there's
lawyer.
There's no much industry for you to do there. So everyone that lives in Orange County, at least my friends, are all doctors or
Most of your friends are doctors.
yeah, they're all like dentists or
That
doctors.
was interesting.
Hence, they stay in Orange County, and everyone who's non-medical have gone into LA,
Yeah.
right? So Orange County gets a little bit, to be frank, just boring. Like there's not that much stuff to do because most of the culture and most of like what's happening is not like doctors don't make culture.
Yeah. But it's not far from LA downtown. So
Yeah.
I guess it's like a good distance if you want to like visit LA.
But from that same light, it's not like San Diego is like really popping off, but actually the tech industry, there's a lot of startups going to San Diego. But somehow what I loved about San Diego was just I love surfing, I love water sports, and I just loved the pace there. It was fast enough, or actually it was like active enough where I could see myself like going to surf in the morning and then go to work and then like have a drink in downtown and be back. Whereas like Orange County where my parents live, it's like there's just it's just too it's too boring for me. Like we were in LA every single day, right? We're in Orange County.
Yeah, we were always out and about. But tell me honestly, if you are in San Diego, do you think you would also work?
That's one thing that we were talking
The
about.
weather is so nice. The beach is right in front of you. And, just like, I don't think I would work or want to work at all. I think I would just like to chill and
enjoy life.
Yeah.
Like why push so hard, right? I mean, if you look at all the beautiful destinations around the world, like Hawaii, like Bali, it's not like the world's most.
You're not gonna like lock yourself in a room and just like, coding all day long when it's so beautiful outside.
What's the Genius Award? What's that Genius Award? Nobel prizes. Yeah, you don't see any Nobel prizes coming out from
Hawaii,
Jamaica, Hawaii, like anywhere really close to beautiful places. You don't see that. Nobody working hard to solve humanity's problem. Well, you could just go out to the beach and you don't see that. It's nice.
Yeah,
so
I think it'll be really hard to get a motivation to work.
Yeah. Whereas when we're in Korea, I'm
surrounded by apart.
surrounded by
just buildings.
Everyone like hustle and bustling like a little ant colony. You know, if you stay in your home, you feel guilty. Like there's that like tension
I
to
don't
keep
have a
working.
great view, so I just like it's not different to look
Yeah.
at my computer.
Maybe we consider that if we start a family. Oh, Katie, we got to go to the scuba incident.
Oh, we went to Catalina too.
All right, so my friend also invited us to go to Catalina Island, and I met a lot of my high school friends, and we did a trip. Catalina Island has a place called Casino Point that is simply beautiful. Maybe even if you're not into scuba diving,
Snorkeling would do.
snorkeling would be beautiful there too. There are kelp forests, like kelp that just these little like long strands of kelp that go from the bottom all the way, all the way to the top, and in between you'll see groupers. You'll see like these orange fish. I forget something Giraldi or Jabroner. I forget what the name of the fish was, but a bunch of stuff you can see without having to go to like Thailand or Philippines.
Yeah, and you don't even have to go deep.
And the same attitude about this whole surfing. Remember, it was all DIY in Korea. We have to go to a
Oh.
shop. We have to go through some briefing.
Yeah.
They bring all the stuff for you.
Yeah. There's like a changing room and
yeah,
like there's a shower, everything very convenient. But here, just there is a shop that rents stuff, but you pick it up, you find a place somewhere outdoor to get changed. There's no
Yeah.
shower.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, everything, do it on your own. You bring
DIY.
everything.
Yeah, bring your own
or
stuff.
yeah.
Or rent. We rented there. We got our tanks. Nobody's there to like do safety checks. You just do it on your own and go in.
Yeah, very, very independent.
All right, so I'm going to describe what happened, which really I'm still questioning whether we as a couple are going to continue to scuba dive because
What happened? You
actually-
sound so dramatic.
no, actually it was actually a very traumatic experience. So Katie got her open water license in Korea, and I think they did a very like okay, you paid us, we're going to just give you the license, and I don't think you learned a thing. I don't think you learned a thing because you don't remember anything. Well, it's been a while since you have scuba dive,
It's been a year.
but I don't know. It just wasn't there. Like I didn't see you like being familiar with the gear or like understanding why you have to do stoppage time, which is like the most basic thing, right? And so it just seemed like they just joked around in class and then they gave you the license.
No, I'm gonna admit definitely it wasn't as strictly done as how you did it under the English person
Yeah.
teacher. You guys had one. Ours was very gentle, a lot of spoon feeding, I think.
I know that's the problem
And-
with getting spoon fed and learning anything. While you get it, it's nice, but later when you're on your own, you don't know anything.
Yeah. Basically, like I knew that they were gonna give me the license.
Yeah.
Like most likely, like I knew it. Like unless I really, really messed things up,
Yeah.
they were just gonna give me the license.
Okay.
They were not strict about anything, so I think that mentality kind of got passed on to me, and then
So
I
that
still don't know much.
So that provides the base context of where we started. We got all of our gear, and I made sure that like the gear wise we're okay. We jumped into the water, and Katie, which is okay, you had a lot of difficulty in actually going under
Under
Right.
what do you call that?
the BCD.
Buoyancy.
Wi- Well, even before the buoyancy, you had very much trouble going underneath the surface because you were underweighted. You didn't
Yeah.
have enough weights on you, so
Mm.
you kept staying at the surface.
But I didn't have like a record of like my own weights and nothing like that. So there was a lot of trial and error.
Right.
And then I
So-
was basically underweight, so I couldn't go further down.
Yeah.
I kept going. I kept floating on the surface.
Katie, all I kept seeing was Katie on top, and then your butt in this fetal position, just staying still. I'm like, Katie, like you gotta like, if you're underway to try swim. And the next thing I know, Katie's stuck in that beautiful kelp forest.
Those kelps
Um,
were like straggling me.
Next thing I know, one fin is off and then floating to the bottom.
My feet kept falling off of me.
And then next thing I know, Katie is like grabbing my. You didn't even know, but at one point when you're stuck in the kelp forest, you were holding what you thought was maybe my arm, but that was actually my respirator. You were trying to take that out of my mouth, and I was like, holy shit. Like, maybe we should, like, I don't think you're ready, but we were like, I kind of felt pressured because we woke up at 4 a.m. to get there. Everyone had their
And then
gear
we're
on.
with other friends.
And I was with my, like, one of my closest friends and his wife, or soon to be wife. And then we're all underneath. And I was like, okay, but we should, you know,
push it.
yeah, push it a little bit. And we finally got you situated at the bottom. And I think you lost your another fin, which went back up. I don't remember. It was now it's become a hodgepodge of memories. But long story short, after we got you situated and your buoyancy, like you kept going up, Katie would press a little bit of air into her vest, and then she would put too much, and the next thing I know, she's shooting up, and I would grab her. I literally felt like I should have got the license to become a scuba instructor, a dive master, because I had my right hand to keep you leveled now, and then I'm like trying to contain my maintenance. I thought I was joining the Navy, seriously, to keep you chill. Next thing I see, the water in your face mask kept going up, and I told you to blow out, but then
it didn't fit my face. So it didn't fit my face. So half the time my goggle is like full of water. But you know, funny enough, I still managed to see a lot of fish.
Katie,
that's the mystery.
Katie, you probably saw like some fog, and you thought that was like a fish. All right, I felt bad because here we are seeing one of the best diving points that I've been to.
I saw a lot of sea cucumber.
And then your goggles look like the scene in Titanic in the car. You couldn't see anything; it's all fogged up. And I'm trying to tell you to like wipe your goggles so you can see something, and then you're like, no, it's okay. And you're just going around with these fog canisters on your eyes, and I was like, what's the point? But here's what happened. My friend, after a while, and with my right hand on Katie to control her buoyancy, my friend was like, oh, look at those school of fishes. And literally just for a second, I saw what direction we had to go in, and I put a little bit of air. And I looked to the left just to see where my friends, and then, doing a buddy check on his fiance as well, just seeing where she's at. And then I turn around, Katie's not there. And like, if you scuba before, it's very easy to have tunnel vision, but it's very hard to see like everything around you. So I literally did like a 360 trying to look, but you were not there. And my friend and his fiance who were in front of us did not know that you, like they were just chilling. So I went up to them, and I didn't know what I'm starting to panic because I don't see you.
Yeah.
I was trying to motion to them. I don't know what the finger motion is. Where the hell's my partner? Where's my wife? So I did like a mime in front of them. What the fuck is going on? Where is she? Like underwater, like this. Like, where is going on? Like
your hand up and down.
Up
basically.
and down. Like where is she? And then my friends kind of figured out, oh my God, something's going on. And they started looking around, and they couldn't find you. And so then that's when panic started to set in, because I thought maybe they knew and they would have pointed. But both of them are doing the same thing. They don't know where you are. And so, oh man, yeah, like at that time, like, yeah, that's when, that's actually, to be honest, that's the first time I really felt vulnerable. Yeah, I was like, maybe the worst is happening. I always say on this podcast at nighttime, I listen to these
crazy crime stories.
No, not crime stories, but these documentaries about like how I should have died, and they always talk about their escape, and it's like in nature, or like in my mind I was like, oh shit, something is happening right now. This can't be happening to my wife right now. Like, where is she? Because in that, like, you know when your thoughts, and when you get panic, you get all these thoughts and they seem very long. I remember your leg, the scene, your leg being caught in the kelp. And I was like, oh shit.
Maybe she's caught.
Maybe she's stuck in kelp. But then the freakiest thing, and I kept telling you, was that I heard a whistle in the water. Like a wee, wee. That might have been my brain making it up. Like when you're panicking and it starts inventing stuff.
Yeah.
But I heard a whee, And that literally took me from 0 to 200. Because I was like, is this not you pleading for help on your BCD that you're stuck? And if you're blowing into a whistle, that means your respirator is out. And I was like, holy shit.
Holy shnikes.
Holy shnikes. This is really happening right now. And in scuba, when your partner disappears, that is like
that's like
that is extreme. That is extreme. So
that cannot happen.
That can never happen. But you were gone so quickly. Like I literally turned around to see where she was. I looked at my friend. I gave the okay, and then you're gone. And like if I just saw like the thing is, if I just saw your feet, maybe you were rising to the surface, I could see you and I wouldn't get panic. But you were just gone like a ghost.
Yeah.
And then I hear this whee. So then I was like, oh hell no. Fight or flight, I'm fighting for you. So I just put all the air in my BCD. I didn't care what meter I was at, and I just bolted to the surface. Now, anyone who's listening who's done scuba diving knows, luckily open water. I think we might have been at like, like 15, 20 feet. It was like really rinkety dinkety. Like we didn't go deep.
Not deep at all.
So like I just bolted to the surface and nothing happened. But if we were literally deeper, I could get the bends. I could, a lot of bad stuff could happen. But that thought didn't cross my mind. I just bolted to the surface because I was thinking, I need to check that you're not at the surface, because if you're not at the surface, you're stuck in some kelp and I need to go right back down. Because before I bolted up, I looked around as fast as I can to see where I couldn't see anywhere.
Yeah.
And like to the right was the vast ocean, and to the left are these kelp, but I don't see you in the kelp, which means you could have dropped off maybe. And like a fin fell off and you're just dropping. Like, I mean, right now we're on a podcast, but could you like see like all these things that are happening in my mind? And your husband, by the way, you need to speak closer into the mic. And like, I bolted up to the top, and then I see Katie like 50 feet away. I don't know how she got that far. And then she was like, I don't know
either.
And she was like, I'm sorry. I don't know why I came up. Oh.
Basically, I just shut up. Somehow you put some air into my BCD and I just lost control, and I just continued to shoot up, and then I basically went straight up.
You were underweighted, so that little bit of air, I don't know, I don't think you knew how to take the air out properly or something, or there was still air. Anyway, when I saw you, needless to say, I was so relieved that you're okay. And then I started to think, like, is scuba really worth it? Like, I mean, it's a potentially life-ending activity. And if you had a passion to go see fishes and it really like did something for you, then we should do it. But a lot of times I felt like you're just doing it because it's something to do and I enjoy it and you wanted to also come along.
Yeah.
And if it's that case, I don't think we need to put your life in potential danger like that ever again. We still need to discuss it a little bit. Like, if you want to learn, you need to be really focused and learn, because it's dangerous, right?
The thing is, it feels like it doesn't seem that serious because thankfully nothing happened. But now that in retrospect, like, so many things could have gone wrong, right? All it takes is just one small thing to go wrong, and then like basically it's irreversible. Like you said, if I got caught in that kelp, the first time I got caught in that bushes of kelp, like you saved me, because it was all tangling up around my leg, and there's no way I could have like got myself out of it. But imagine that I lost you there, and I was stuck in that kelp bush.
Yeah, and then let's say we took a right. And then I just didn't know where you are.
You can't find me, and like I'm just stuck there for another 30 minutes. I run out of my oxygen, and that's it. Goodbye. So that kind of thoughts like really freak me out now.
I for the first time I felt your, I don't know how to say this, but I felt what it felt like of you potentially something bad happening to you. And that was like,
that's a very scary moment.
It was traumatic to me.
It was
super traumatic to me.
Yeah. I mean, kind of saying it with a smile, but it was a scary moment.
Yeah.
And I bet your friends got like really terrified too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not like a pleasant moment. So
Yeah.
I feel really bad about it.
Yeah. The number one thing you learn in scuba when you're doing the open water is you're not allowed to shoot up. You have to handle things underwater, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think I need a lot more practice. All I did was get that license. It was like a very short and quick, very intensive training I did,
Yeah.
and then after that, we never went scuba or never went
it's true.
practice. So
I
this
think it
was like
was-
the first time I did in a year, and
Yeah. I think it was short-sighted of me to also to just go with us without like a
like a
scuba
master.
master.
But thankfully, that the place we went was like
Like
kind
my-
of like a beginner friendly.
Yeah.
So you
Like even if you shot up, it was okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, we need to move subjects because like that one's that one like yeah that actually, but maybe it was a good dose of reality, also because like I started to think a little bit more responsibly, like for my wife too, like in the future stuff I should really think about those things, and like as I get older, go a little bit less risky on these things. The pursuit of fun or joy is not. It needs to be balanced out by the risk of the activity. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, scuba was kind of like that, but on the other hand, climbing was very, very fun.
Yeah, yeah. All right. so we'll see if we'll do more scuba. Yeah, that gets me in a weird space just rethinking that. It was just too crazy for me.
Yeah. I think we can move on.
Yeah. How about New York, Kitty? This was your first time to New York. What did you think?
It was very, very fun, but also at the same time very overwhelming with so many things going on.
Oh,
Busy city life. Like I'm used to a city life, but it felt so different there. Like
Oh.
also a lot of diversity. And then the Central Park was so beautiful, but there's a lot of also homeless people
oh.
that freaked me out. Cause one time, this homeless person ran towards me from back and like hit me on the arm, and I don't know, he was yelling something at me, and I'm like, "What? I didn't do anything. Where did you come from?"
Yeah, like Katie and me were just walking, and all of a sudden we got this guy, like this I think he was like a homeless guy. He comes up and he's just like, I mean, I don't want to repeat all the cuss words, but like he's just gone mad and just like, I'll fuck you guys up. I just said I wouldn't say it, but yeah, fuck you, I'll fuck you up. And he's talking to Katie, like
Yeah,
he's not even talking to me. I didn't even
he's
know where he
talking
popped
to
out of.
me.
Yeah, he said, I'll fuck you, I'll kill you. And I was like, and then he kind of karate chopped your left arm.
I know.
But like the thing was,
It was painful too.
did you accidentally hit him or?
No,
Or
I don't even remember seeing that guy.
I think he was
I
out
don't
of
know
his
where
mind.
he came from.
I think he was out of his mind. He just jumped out like just
That's why. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I kind of scooted Katie behind me and I was like, hey, like, what's going on? What, like, calm down. Like, calm down. Like, no, I'll kill both of you. I'm like, no, you're not going to do anything, but calm down. Well, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
know? But then,
And then he slowly went away.
yeah, like, he slowly, like, calm down. Like,
But
no, but that was too random to even react. He just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But he went from like, it wasn't even like a slow escalation. It was just, he came at us like 200 miles per hour. Like, I was like, he must be on like some sort of like, I think he was tripping on something. I would have been a little bit more intimidated if he was, he looked malnourished. He ain't a threat to anybody. So.
Well, when I think about that incident,
Yeah.
what comes to my mind is also what we were on our way to find the toilet for you, and that's what happened.
Oh.
So
New York. Oh, New York.
So I'm going to blame the lack of toilets, public toilets.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, finding a public restroom in New York, why so difficult? Why they don't put a little bit more like restrooms? So we were in Washington Square Park.
Yeah.
We were in Washington Square Park. We'll tell about the pizza store right after this. But
Washington Square Park, there was a toilet in the park. You went in, but then you said you couldn't use it. I don't know why.
I'll tell you why. I went into the men's restroom and then I saw like two homeless guys in line. They like turned around to see who it was, and I was like, "You guys in line for the restroom?" They're like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Okay." So then like I was like the third person in line, but then the guy that was in there, I think they're all friends, but one guy's like, "Hey James, what do you think of today?" And they're talking. I'm like, there's no way the guy taking a poo and talking to his friend who's outside also waiting in line. Like, this is at least 45 minutes right here. And like, there's no way to happily nudge a homeless guy to quickly get out of the restroom. So I was like, that ain't happening. And like, I need to go find a Starbucks. But then, yeah, I went to go find a nearby, like a Starbucks or some sort of coffee. And then every time, I'm sorry, there's a problem with the water plumbing. We had a water burst. Why is
temporarily closed?
Yeah. Oh, first place, water is broken. I'm sorry. Second place, we go, I'm sorry, our restrooms are under repair. Third place I went, oh, sorry, the water plumb is blowing. And I was like, is the plumbing always broke in New York? What is going on? So then I resorted. I was like, when I went to that fancy place and I was like, oh, I got a reservation at the bar. I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, this is getting urgent.
I think we ended up in Soho by that point.
I might have walked half of New York to find, I couldn't hold it any longer. And there was like this really upscale, like oyster bar, really swanky. And I was like, Katie, take my backpack. Because I can't be, there's no way I have a reservation and I'm coming in with a backpack. So I was like, Katie, hold my backpack real quick. And then I went downstairs. The guy's like, hey, how can I do for you? I was like, oh, my friend's waiting for me. I got a reservation at the bar. He's like, oh, you do? I was like, yeah, that guy right there. But I said it like I'm on a mission because I did not want to go in my pants. So so much confidence. It's like right there. That
it's
guy.
Like a life or death situation for you going on.
And as soon as that door opened, I thought I won the lottery. So I finally went in and used the restroom. And yeah, of course, when I walked out, the guy gave me an eye. But yeah, where are your restrooms? Where are your restrooms in New York? You got all that money. Tax some of the stock transactions and use it to build some public restrooms so that tourists like me can do sightseeing without having to get crafty into like using a restroom.
You even downloaded this app that shows all the public restaurants in New York, but I guess it didn't really work.
It's terrible. It was made by some professor and it just doesn't work.
That was like an everyday struggle.
Yeah,
before we leave anywhere, like make sure you use the restroom.
That's why Katie, Katie, this place is pretty nice. Are you sure you don't want to use the restroom before we go? Because like after that, it's like public toilets. So man, that one I hope they improve really. But thank God, because like whenever I'm abroad, like my digestion doesn't work, and after having Korean food and then putting like copious amounts of pizza, my digestion is already slowed. It's not working. But if it was working properly like Korea, oh my God, it would have been game over.
I don't think you can leave the house.
I would have been able to leave the house. My goodness. I would have just put a big diaper on, just went around.
I think so.
Oh man. How about the pizza?
Oh my God.
Oh wait. We got to go back when we're in Washington Square Park. We had to go back. You know, every country we go to, we always have a funny, a humorous story with the homeless. Like when we were in Paris, that gypsy dipped her fingers into my sandwich. So go to the past podcast, talked about that one. Yeah, we had just gone to Joe's on Bleecker.
No, it's not Joe. It's
John's on Bleecker Street. And that pizza was phenomenal. We loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious. We got the meat lovers and then we got also the regular.
Got it half and half. It was like phenomenal.
Katie, okay, we'll just pause right there. New York pizza. Let me know how you feel. How good?
Honestly, I like it more than tacos.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like I miss the New York pizza.
How they make it so good, right?
Like
That New York style, honestly, I think it's better than the pizza in Italy. Way better.
yeah, I don't know how. It's definitely different. It's so thin, but also
It's
like kind of
crispy
crispy.
and chewy, a little bit
Yeah,
chewy.
and it's just so much flavor. Delicious. It was definitely eye-opening moment for me because I didn't think that.
Pizza could be that good.
Yeah,
Now you'll like your expectations have gone up so high. So anytime we go to Korea and you order pizza, you're always gonna be disappointed. That's how I feel about tacos when I'm here in Korea. I'm never like satisfied because it just doesn't compare.
yeah.
Um,
I love how thin it is, and thin, but also like it's not heavy.
don't you love the right amount of sauce that they put? It's not like when you bite in, it's like overly acidic from the tomato sauce. It's just the right balance of cheese, tomato, and
Yeah.
then dough. Amazing, amazing. So it was too much pizza, so we got a few to take out. And then we went to the park. We just looked around, and I was
We're
like,
just sitting on a bench,
yeah, just soaking it
people
in.
watching.
Because like I didn't want to carry around that box all day, right? This was like the start of our day. I was like, no, Katie, we're not gonna throw it. Like, let's not toss this. Like, for sure, there are some homeless people who would, really appreciate a nice slice of pizza, right? And so, what happened?
This homeless person was going by people asking for some money. And then when he came to us, he was like, what'd you say? You got some money for me or something like that? And then we were like, we got some pizza. Would you want some? And then he was like,
no. Here, I'll say, Katie. The guy was like, hey, man, you guys got any spare change or, like, hungry for a meal? I need some money. I was like, oh, no, I don't got money, but, if you're hungry, I'll give you a slice of pizza if you want. And then he looked at us dead in the eyes. And he's like, man, if I have another slice of pizza, I'm going to turn it into a pepperoni. Like that, I was not expecting that. But I thought that was hilarious.
it was.
Like the way he delivered that line.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like laugh. I was like, oh man. And then he was like, but let me look at it. So we opened up the pizza box, and the funniest thing was, as soon as that box lifted, his fingers were inside. He took it. He didn't even say a word to us. Like bit it into his mouth, and then walked off
To the next person.
to the next person.
He continued on his mission.
But it was hilarious because there was not even a thank you or like an acknowledgement. It was like in, boom, gone.
Yeah.
And like, not that we need the thank you, but it was what we call in Korean like tangwang.
It would just happen so quickly.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that. So like the next moment I'm looking, the pizza's gone, and then the guy's somewhere over there.
Yeah. Man, if I get another slice of pizza, I'm gonna turn it to pepperoni. Boom, 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 gone. And so we're like, whoa.
It was really funny.
Yeah. And then I remember you're like, wow, the homeless people are different here.
They're like right on point. They know what they want and then they go.
Yeah.
They're busy.
But then we had another slice, and then 2 minutes later, another person came. He's like, hey, do you guys have any money? And I was like, hey, if you're hungry, we have another slice of pizza if you like. And then he took it, but then he was like, hey, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, he had the more soft character.
That was kind of the response that I was expecting. And, Washington Square Park, it was interesting. And
there's a lot of characters.
yeah.
It's really fun. Just people watch. There were like this band playing jazz music.
I think that part I really like about New York is the park is such a melting pot for all the people living in New York. Yeah. Like there's people who are just coming out for a nice walk. There are like babysitters walking other parents' kids, watching other parents' kids. There's like homeless. There's like the skateboarders. There's the weed smokers. And it's just like everyone's just enjoying that open air. I really like that. There's the NYU students.
Oh, yeah. I think they had the graduation that day.
Yeah. There's also a lot like, like that marijuana. I think overall in the US, since the last time I've been there, just marijuana is like everywhere. Even in like Washington Square Park, they would have these tables and they would have like pre-rolled joints and they're selling them out in the open. And, you know, living here in Korea, I don't follow up with like, you know, where exactly each of the states are with their marijuana laws. I just know that it's becoming a lot more accessible and I think legal for personal consumption. But it was just strange to see like everyone is just selling joints like out in the public and just smoking, and everywhere you go, like
It
even in
smells.
LA, as soon as we arrived in LAX, walked out of the building, you get hit with that marijuana smoke, right? And like before our trip, Katie was like, I'm not sure what that smells like. And by the end, you're like,
Now I know.
that's marijuana.
Yeah,
Right?
I know for
It's
sure.
everywhere. Yeah. If you don't smoke, I think it would get kind of annoying because that smoke is like everywhere.
I think so.
That
But
was
I mean, it didn't bother me that much. But I remember, like during college years, like some of my friends would get really, really bothered by the smell, so they would like put towels underneath their door so the smell doesn't come to their room.
Before we kind of like move on and talk about some other experiences and how we felt, like on the issue of like homelessness, and when we're in Korea, like it's very hard to see homeless people. I mean, you see them from time to time, especially near Seoul Station, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who are homeless, but it's not visible in society. Like you don't see that many. Actually, it's very rare for me to actually see homeless people on the streets here in Korea. Going back to especially LA, and just seeing, because we went to the art center to go climbing at LA Boulders, but that's very close to Skid Row, and I actually was like, Katie, I want you to see Skid Row.
I want you to get a real experience of LA. So he decided to leave his park all the way far away and make us walk.
No, I didn't want you to walk through Skid Row. I think that'd be a little bit too intimidating. But we walked around Arts District, but I did drive through Skid Row just to show you kind of like the reality of the city. And yeah, homelessness is a real issue in the U.S. And
Yeah,
if I'm
seems like
if
it.
I'm being very honest about it, like just LA seems very dirty to me. I don't know how that sounds to people who are listening to this, but not that homelessness is like it's not that homelessness is dirty, it's that the city itself, since the issue of homelessness is not is such a complex issue, that parts of the city just keeps feeling dirtier and more run down, and like yeah, LA just seems dirty to me and unsafe.
Unsafe, definitely. I felt really scared when we were walking on the streets because I'm just not used to that kind of street or environment.
And I was thinking about this issue of homelessness a lot when I was in LA, just in my head. Like, actually, I won't go too long about it, but it's more of the city itself provides so much money to provide temporary housing for a lot of these people. It comes with such harsh rules, like you have to be, there's a curfew by like 8 or 9, and a lot of these people that are out on the streets would prefer to be on the streets than have to confide with these like ridiculously strict rules to stay in these temporary housing, because a lot of them are addicts, right? And a lot of them have also psychological issues. So it's a very complex issue when you provide housing, yet the people don't accept it because for them it's also too restrictive.
Yeah.
So it's not not this issue of like, why don't we just put them in houses? What if the person that you want to give help to doesn't want your help because your help is too restrictive to them, or if they're not psychologically understanding and like if you're messed up in the head. So you see a lot of that. Even the guy who karate chopped you, he's not sane, right? So you can put him in Ritz-Carlton, but he'll be out by the night. So it's very hard. But then at the same time, like if you think about like parts of LA, you'll be walking, take one wrong avenue and you're in tent city and very aggressive people and you feel very unsafe. I wouldn't want to raise my kids anywhere in East LA. But at the same time, like that's one thing that I really loved about being in the States was the diversity, right? I talked about this so much times too. And I just like, wow, like it feels amazing back to be in a place, like even when we're in a Boulder gym, there's like Mexicans, there's Americans, there's African Americans, there's Asians, there's
So
Indians.
diverse.
And I just love being around everyone's energy because everyone
Mm.
adds something different. I had so
Yeah,
many
I agree.
conversations with different people. But with that diversity also comes the reality that not everyone is rich.
For sure.
Right? I mean, I'm just stating the obvious. Like, there's a lot of, like, with the diversity comes different
A lot of discrepancies.
discrepancy in
the quality of
lifestyles, in
living.
quality of living. And that's the reality of the city.
Yeah,
So-
that's why it's difficult.
Yeah. And that's something I was wrestling with. I kept saying in my mind, man, I like LA, because one of my good friends now moved to LA after being in Orange County. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I just love being in LA because Orange County, again, is kind of boring, but also the people in LA are a little bit more cultured. You know, they're more worldly, they have more experiences and just have a better balanced viewpoint of what's going on in life, and rather than just living in that OC bubble of their own race or their own whatever, like income bracket. And I totally vibe with that. But then on the other side, like when we're in Korea, we never feel unsafe. And that's one thing that I really love about Korea, is that like no matter what time of day it is, whether you're a man or a woman, safety is just a presumed fact of life.
Yeah, I think I realized that I take that for granted.
Right? So that's the thing. Like when I'm in Korea, I feel like it's too homogenous, like same way of thinking, same way of acting,
Yeah.
same view of success.
That gets boring too.
Same personalities. Well, actually not personalities, but same like just, you see what I'm saying? But then I feel safe because we have this homogenous view of like how to whatever.
Way of living.
Yeah. So
There's always pros and cons,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, that was the yin and yang for me. That that was the reality. But interesting question. Would you take safety over diversity?
Yes.
Not that that has to be a binary decision, but
I think for me as a woman, I think I want to feel safe. Yeah, and I'm so used to living here in Korea now, so that's why. Like I didn't have that alert around me. I guess back when I was living in the UK,
yeah.
that was like the everyday for me, that I need to be more alert about my safety, so then you also get used to it. But then now it's been a while since I like lived abroad in other countries, so definitely felt like a lot more effort.
Yeah.
To be more like aware and like have your guards up every time you walk around.
That's
I think for a guy it's like kind of, I mean for you, I bet you don't feel definitely as scared as me, so
but as I get older and as a married person, I definitely like am much more, we're always together, so like I'm always wary. Like it's a little bit exhausting, but especially in New York, having to always be wary and like having my city goggles on, like just checking out like who's passing by. Like I had that growing up, but I had to re-put it back on. And then I remember like in Korea, I never have those goggles on because you don't need it because it's always safe.
So you forget about it.
I mean, the only danger here is like people who just keep taking who drive past the red lights. You might
That's
get
a
hit by a
different
car.
type of danger, right?
That's the only like big one. So guys, actually we have a lot more to talk about from the trip and more stuff. We'll continue on in another podcast. I think we have to get back to work and I have a lot of phone calls coming in related to work. So we'll cut it here, guys. I hope you enjoyed just a little snippet of it. Definitely wanted to talk about like insights from Brooklyn. We're in Brooklyn
when
and
we went
Williamsburg.
climbing,
Oh, the climbing
the
gym was
quality of climbing gyms in America are world class. We need to learn from that.
Oh, and I also wanted to talk about the King Serena or King Williams or King Richard.
The movie we watched on the plane.
Oh, man.
That was so inspiring.
Oh, and we need to also talk about that book.
Crying in H Mart.
Yeah,
Daniel's coming up with his own version.
No.
Smiling in Kumon.
No, Katie, you can't drop the name like that. Oh man, Katie, no.
I have it, so now you can't go back.
No.
Finish that book.
All right, guys, we're cutting off here. See ya.